1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, what's going on? It's Rico. Today we're going to work on modulation, saturation, and LCR panning for this episode of the game. So let's go to the top of our track, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a listen to our drums. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to that kick, and here we go. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at the kick. First thing I've done here, at about 60 Hertz, I've applied 2 dBs of gain using this PwigTech EQP1A by Waves. This is really good for your kicks. Let's take a listen. Yeah, has a lot of push there. There we go, it should be good right there. Beautiful, okay. Then I've added the sausage fattener, 11% to fatness, and 56. Yeah, about 56, sounds good. Beautiful. And then, just so that it's not in stereo, I've applied this stereo imager by Waves, and I've jacked away the width all the way to 0 to make sure it's in mono. Good. So without these effects, and with them. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go to our snare. This snare, I've added a sausage fattener. Again, just to thicken it up. A little bit of saturation there. Didn't mess with the color and the tonality. And again, the stereo imager to make sure it's in mono. So, take a listen to it. And if you see here, I panned it a little bit to the left. It's not directly in the center. Good. Hi-hat loop. Okay, first thing I did is I made it in mono. And then I've added some saturation using FabFilter Saturn. Beautiful plugin. I really recommend you spend the money with this company. Everything I've got by them has been fantastic. I cannot complain. Okay, and then Volcano after that. And I'll explain what this filter effect is doing. So I'm going to turn these off and get this rocking here. Here's our hi-hat loop. I'm going to turn on Saturn. There, so I'm only adding a little bit of saturation there, and I'm boosting a little bit of the low-mid frequencies here. Good. Now, with this Volcano, take a listen. Good. I'm basically gating the sound using a specific rhythm. Without it, and these two LFOs are the ones that are actually causing it to happen. Beautiful. So I like that. Next, 808s, just a sausage fattener. Just to give a little bottom in there. Cymbals, basic Cubase plugin, the tube, and I've driven it at about 60%. If you look here, I've also panned it left, 45. Typically where a cymbal would be if it was in a drum kit. They're usually 45 degrees from the throne where the drummer is sitting. And the bongos. Okay, first thing I've done is I've added the Kramer tape stereo to give it a tape saturation, basic tape saturation. We'll turn this on here. Okay, good. Then I've added the sausage fattener to thicken it up a little more. And then finally, a vibrato plugin. And all this plugin really doing is it's adding some mild vibrato, but it's also panning it left and right. So it's giving it a feeling of width. Alright, good. Toms. Okay, I've added a cue bass effect called the cloner, and the cloner owns it's a doubler. So it's just doubling the sound of it. And the Fab Filter Saturn here. And all this plugin doing here is adding some tape saturation, and I've made some adjustments to this preset here. So it's just pushing the air a little bit, which is good. The whistle. Okay, I'm using the Waves Doubler 4, and this is a modulation effect. Giving you the effect that there's a whistle here in dead center, and then about 39 to 45 degrees each side here at less gain. So basically it makes it feel like there's multiple voices, multiple whistles. Good. And then the Fab Filter once again, Saturn, for a little bit of saturation. And that, I do believe, would be our drum kit. Excellent. Good. So let's go to our bass. All right, bass 1. Just a sausage fattener. That's it to thicken it up, and I rolled the color to try to get as many mids and highs as I could in this. Even though I rolled it off, I'm still trying to get a little bit in there. I don't want it to be too subby. Good. Next one. Copy the bass. Same thing, sausage fattener. There we go. That's a little better. Good. So together with the drums. Nice. Good. Okay. Let's go to the keys now. Pull up our keys. And we'll mute these for the moment. Let's take a look at our Rhodes. Okay. I've added in the stereo doubler again. Doubler 4 for this Rhodes. If you take a look at these numbers here, -6 gain at 45 and at 45, right? And then again 45 and 45, -12, -12. So it's giving you the image of just multiple voices there. Without it, dead in the center. Hard left and right. Now you see here, when I click this, brings it back to the center, but I don't want that. I want the vocals and the saxophone in the center. So now if I really wanted to go a little crazy, I could do this. See this, 33, and then I can go here. What do we got here? -33. That'll give it a little bit more width. Let's hear that with the bass nick. Yeah, that sounds nice. Let's see how that sounds in the mix. Good. Okay. With these pads. I've added a plugin called Enigma by Waves, and it's a flanging phasing plugin. And I've set the rate to 17, and BPM to 10. It's adding a very, very mild phase. Without it. And with it, good, nice. The next thing I've done with this is, I believe I've added a stereo imager here. Yeah. And this is just to widen it out slightly. So together, with the keys and the roads. There we go, nice and thick. Now we're going to add this mellow lead in. Okay, I've added the doubler 4 again. Great width plugin. Get used to using it, it's beautiful. Okay, 45 and a 45. 0 degrees and 0 degrees, which is good. Okay, let's make it a little bit more wider. We'll make it negative 60. And we'll make this $60. There we go. Beautiful. All right. We'll change that later. Next, so all together we have this. Good. Add the effects in. As you can see, nothing was done with them. Nothing was done with them. And let's go to guitars now. So we need everything else. Okay. And with our guitar tracks. Okay. I've applied one effect, modulation effect, which is a phaser. Without it. With it. Good. It's applying phase and a little bit of pan at the same time. Excellent. Okay. Now here, for the wall guitar, I've panned it left, 45. Okay, I've added this as a vibrato effect, and I've added this slight delay effect. Without them. With the vibrato. And with the delay. Now I have this mix set relatively low at 3, right? If I crank it. So it's very, very tame in the mix. Good. Okay. So now we have all together. Good. Okay, let's go to the saxophone now. Saxophone, untouched. Hand a little to the right, even it out. Good. And let's go to the vocals. Okay. What I've done with these vocals, number one, I've added that stereo doubler again by Waves. I've applied a phaser here. Now, it's going to be very difficult for you to hear. There it is. Without it. And then we'll add it back in. It's not much, even though I have the mix basically cranked. There's not much phasing happening here. Good. And all together, our mix sounds like this. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. In the next episode here, next section, we're going to take the bus groups, the subgroups, and we're going to apply some delays and some effects to the bus groups. And then after that, we're going to hit the 2 bus. Alright, I'm Rico, I'm out. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.